Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
Welcome, friend, to a brand new episode of New Life Live. Brian Perez at your service, along with clinical psychologist Dr. Jill Hubbard and licensed professional clinical counselor Becky Brown, who also happens to be the president of New Life Ministries. If you're struggling during this holiday season, feeling anxious or uncertain about something facing you, give us a call. We're going to be here in the studio for 2 hours today, and we can't wait to speak with you. 1-800-229-3000 is our number. And Becky, there's always something on my mind. Brown, why don't you share your thoughts with us?
Well, first, I'm going to just have a little bit of laugh on that one. Yeah. There is something always on my mind that can be problematic at sometimes, but you know what? It is the most wonderful time of the year. I mean, how incredible is Christmas, right? But there are some of you that may not feel that way for a lot of different reasons. I know there have been years in the past for me that Christmas was a struggle, and I don't even know why. I think there may have been low-level depression that went unchecked. Like, you don't know sometimes when those things are going to hit. But, I just saw a post that Henry Cloud posted about grief, and grief also gets mixed in with the most wonderful time of the year. And Henry says, grief is not weakness. It's how we come to terms with what is real. And you can't heal what you won't feel. We talk about that here a lot, that we need to let the tears fall and let the truth in. And that's where healing begins. And I think about how challenging it is in a very busy season when we have big feelings that can overwhelm us. And we're told, hey, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Chin up, get a good attitude. And what I want to encourage you is, if you're in a space, whether it's fresh grief, maybe it's a bit of depression that you aren't recognizing, maybe it is family challenges, God is with you. That is why this is the most wonderful time of the year. And here's a couple of scriptures just to encourage you. Psalm 34:18 says, "The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves those crushed in spirit." 2 Corinthians 1:3, God is our merciful Father and the source of all comfort. And then Psalm 147:3 says, He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Part of Christmas is Christmas music. And there's one of my favorite Christmas carols is "O Come All Ye Faithful." And I think about that song is directed towards us, the faithful, but I think about God's faithfulness and the great news, the wonderful news that Isaiah 9:6 says, for unto us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. When I think about that part of the passage that says, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, I even think we could separate that. He will be called Wonderful. And there's a version of "O Come All You Faithful" that Chris Tomlin recorded, and there's this bridge that they repeat this part of it, that his name will be called Wonderful Counselor. And so I know that in a time when it's supposed to be happy, happy, you may be struggling with something, but God is near. If you need help today, you know where to call us, and we want to be there to help you as well.
Yep. Jill, any thoughts?
Oh, I just love that line of thinking, Becky, and it's such a mixed bag. The emotions are heightened at either end of the spectrum, and it's all part of the Christmas season, and so we need to bring everything to Him.
Yeah. And sometimes that depression and grief can lead to addiction. Maybe you've been struggling with, you see everything around you and everyone's so happy and everything, and you're not in such a good place right now. Give us a call and we can help you. We're here for 2 hours today, 1-800-229-3000. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, thanks so much for watching, but call in and we'd love to help you as well. 1-800-229-3000. We'll be right back on New Life Live.
I went to Every Man's Battle in 2012. My sexual integrity was not what it should have been. I sought out affairs, whether physical or emotional. Until I came to Every Man's Battle, I didn't understand that would never fill that void.
Every day, men struggle with sexual integrity, impure thoughts, strip clubs, affairs, pornography.
The shame and guilt was overwhelming.
For over 20 years, New Life Ministries has been helping men regain their integrity through their one-of-a-kind Every Man's Battle Intensive.
You will discover what the true root of your pain is, and you will discover how to overcome.
You don't have to struggle any longer. Get help in Orange County, California, January 23rd through the 25th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE to register or to find out more. 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Enter the code NLL for a discount.
Every Man's Battle saved my life.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
By the way, if you are traveling over the river and through the woods to go to grandmother's house, bring us with you. Don't worry, we are excellent house guests. You can download the New Life app to take us with you wherever you find yourself this season. Also, if you tuned in hoping to hear from Dr. John Townsend, well, he couldn't make it today, huh, Becky?
No, he's feeling under the weather, and we hope that he feels better soon. We love John, and if you've been listening for a while, you're hearing us advertise the Townsend Institute, which is such a great program. So if you want to go into counseling or even leadership, give him a call. Not him personally, obviously, especially today because he's not feeling well. So he'll be back sometime in the future.
He will, yes.
So that brings up a good question before we get to the calls at 1-800-229-3000. But when it comes to counseling and how did you, Jill and Becky, know that this was your calling? Did you know from the time you were young, or maybe was it something? And really,
yes.
You did, Jill?
I did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I've always told this story. In the 7th grade, I had to write a careers report, and so I was debating: should I be an artist or should I be a psychologist? Mm-hmm. And I was weighing those two out, which I ended up getting a minor in art. But I decided that psychologists made a lot more money because they made about $10,000 a year. Mm-hmm. And so I decided to go into psychology. Besides, I went to a school that didn't have an art major. So there it was.
Okay. But how did you, what was the interest?
So I just think from a young age, I was always someone that listened to people's problems. Mm-hmm. And my parents divorced early when I was young. And so at a young age, I had to deal with a lot. And going back and forth, it grows you up in a different way. Mm-hmm. And so I always have had a heart for people and, talking about what concerns them. And looking at just human behavior, I just feel like this is what God called me to do. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's funny because I didn't know that this was what I was going to do. I started out as a hairdresser. I was a beautician.
Well, you do have nice hair, Becky.
Oh, thank you. I knew I wanted to be a hairdresser when I was in 2nd grade, but let me tell you, when I was in the field for many years, can you imagine? But you know what's interesting is one of my hairdressing clients, got her hair done. The next day she calls me and she says, "Hey, I have to come back." And I'm like, "Well, what happened? Did I do something wrong?" And she said, No, I need to talk to you about something. I need to get my head done inside and out. So that's where it all started.
Really?
That is great, Becky, because I always say our hairdressers are our armchair therapists.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
We tell them everything. We're
Mm-hmm.
screaming it above the blow dryer. But
Yeah. And you know what? From one former hairdresser to all of those who may be listening right now, we hear you. I know how hard it is sometimes for somebody to tell you all the things, and you really don't have the ability to do much. You can speak into their lives, but you can make them look good, and that's really important.
Well, and you're touching their head so they have feel good, you know?
Yeah, well, and to your point about the artistry is there is artistry in hairdressing. And I remember when I went into clinical work, I was thinking, there were some times that I thought, if I could fix your hair, you might feel better. I didn't say that out loud, I promise you. But
to your clients,
but
you
yeah,
need a good makeover.
I mean, hey, everybody's heard about having a bad hair day. So, I think that's part of it. But I also think that there's that artistry that comes into creating a look. But I think when I think about making the shift into mental health counseling, I had already heard so many stories from behind the chair that now I was being able to sit across the seat from them. And it's been a privilege for all these million years that we've been doing it, right, Jill?
Yeah. I know. I was always afraid I was going to have to wear really boring clothes if I became a psychologist. So that was part of it.
Obviously not.
Because in another world, I would be like a color analysis, right, Becky?
Yes, you would. Yes. And you do a really good job, too.
But it's that, sometimes the outside reflects how we're feeling on the inside. And I think one of the goals in life is to have our insides and our outsides more aligned, right? Because when we feel that dissonance, that mismatch, that leads to a lot of unhappiness.
Yeah, there's an old phrase, I don't know who to attribute it to, but it says, be kind, for everyone you meet is facing something difficult. And from our perspective as therapists, we know. And so people can show up with a smile, but we know that inside their heart is breaking. That's kind of why I talked about the wonderful time of the year, because the expectation is we're all going to be happy. We're going to have this little family gathering. Listen, families are challenged right now in so many different ways. And so we know that you're hurting, and we also know how to get you to the help that you need. So,
Yes,
absolutely.
So the reason I had this question. Oh, go ahead.
Well, speaking of families,
yes.
Sorry, this is an impulsive ADHD thought. But it's my mom, my sweet mom's 87th birthday today.
Happy
so
birthday,
just shout
Jill's
out
mom.
to her. Yes.
You raised a wonderful daughter.
Yes, but I just even look at her growth over the decades, right? And just how much more relaxed she is in some ways, right? Life is more overwhelming, but letting go of some things, some of the perfectionism and all of that. It's good to see.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jill's mom. 1-800-229-3000 is our number. By the way, the only reason I brought up this question about, career choices and everything was because we were talking about the 𝙇𝙤𝙑𝙀 Institute. And if anybody maybe sees gifts in their children or something and maybe wants to put them into the field, or maybe a midlife career change where somebody's been doing, who knows, it might be hairstyling or artistry or, who knows what it is. And then they're thinking, you know what? I've always felt this called to do something different. People always come to me with advice, whether it's...
just like Becky. You kind of got discovered, Becky, I think, through your hairdressing clients.
All right. Very good. So 1-800-229-3000 is our number. And let's go to Mickey, who is in Charlotte, North Carolina. And she's watching us on YouTube right now. So let's wave hi to Mickey. Thanks for calling in today.
Hello, it's actually Nikki.
I am so sorry.
Okay, Nikki.
Nikki, welcome to New Life.
Hello, hey. Hello, so yes, I'm calling today because I said I was going to call when President Becky was there. And I just wanted to share a testimony on why I give. I am a New Life ministry partner, and I started listening when 𝙇𝙤𝙀 was on this side before he made it to heaven. And after a while of just hearing y'all just help so many people, calls that I was just listening to, I was like, who are these people? And then when Larry used to be on and ushering the call for people to join, I said, you know what? It's time for me to join. And it has been one of the just greatest, moments in my life, just joining and just knowing that, just being a blessing, to others. And then a personal testimony. I had a young adult family member that was dealing with a drug addiction. And, Becky, you and I, just one of the times that you had called me just to do a check-in, you had prayed for this young adult. And it was like a 3-year struggle. But glory to God, she has been 1 year addiction free. And this was the first holidays that she was able to enjoy. Wow. She was able to enjoy Thanksgiving. She's looking forward to Christmas. She could enjoy her birthday. And I also remember how y'all helped her parents to get the help that she needed because the addiction almost destroyed, her mom. But glory to God. All I could just say is Jesus.
Thank you, Nikki.
And this is why I give. This is why I give. I love you all. I'm always praying for the callers, praying for you all, because I know it's not easy when you have to think of something quickly in order to try to give somebody some feedback or, just, advice. So I know it's not easy, but I always ask the Holy Spirit to just show up for each, every one of y'all. Yeah.
Oh, you truly are a partner, Nikki.
Yes,
thank you so much for encouraging us today.
Yes, and so exciting about your family member.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, gosh. All I could just say is Jesus.
Yep.
He is a miracle worker.
He is.
And we love hearing those stories, especially around this time of year, because there are people who are feeling upset or whatever. Maybe there's a prodigal in their life or something, and they're, man, this kid is never going to, come back home or anything like that. And Nikki's a great example that it can happen through prayer.
I love that. I love that. And just the fact that, Nikki, you prayed, and you're continuing to pray for those that we serve because you recognize the challenges that people face. And we're here for them. We want to continue to point people in the direction of their new life. And your family member has a new life, and we're so grateful to be part of it.
Yep. And if anybody wants to donate towards what we do here at New Life Ministries, now is a good time to do that because we are in the middle of a matching gift campaign up to $475,000. And we'll tell you more about that in a little bit. Or you can just go to our website right now, newlife.com/match. Let's go back to the phones. Here is Rose in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, who listens to the New Life podcast. Hi there, Rose. Welcome to New Life Live.
Hi, thank you for taking my call. I love listening to you. This is my second time calling, so I kind of know the ropes here.
You're an expert now.
Yeah. Well, the reason that I'm calling, the last time I called in had to do with my adult kids, and you gave me some good advice. But Christmas, though, let me just preface it by saying I'm a widow. It's been about 10 years since my husband passed. And in those 10 years, my children, my adult children, had their own children. They had their own families. But Christmas has been really hard for me. And I'll try very hard not to get emotional. But, as the mom, and I'm sure a lot of moms listening will understand, we're kind of the architects of Christmas. We do it all. And as a grandmother and as a single grandmother, I feel kind of abandoned by my kids, and I get it. I know that they are busy with their own families and kids, and I don't think it's intentional. I do think that it is a mindset of that generation, and so this Christmas is looking really kind of bleak for me, and I just feel like an afterthought. I feel like I've sort of been left out. And I don't think that they realize, I don't have a husband in my life right now. And so, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out how to address it. I don't want to get into the drama that's sort of been happening, but.
Rose, how many kids do you have and how close do they live to you?
Sure. I have 4 children. 2 of them, my 2 youngest, live literally within walking distance of my house. And, my one son has 4 kids, and his thing is, Mom, I just want to stay in my pajamas all day and watch my kids play with their toys, and I get that. And generally, I try to have everybody over on the evening, Christmas evening. I figured I'll cook, they have to eat anyway. And just have them do it, and I'm kind of getting pushback, so this might be the last year that we do it. And I don't know how to let them know that this is important to me, and I I don't have to cook. Invite me to your house. I mean, I'm game. I'm a lover, not a fighter, and I don't want to push back. I'm thankful I don't have a bad relationship with my kids. I don't want to be that manipulative mom, grandmother. Right. I don't want my kids to that way. So I'm just with the best way to let them know and approach, like, guys, this is important to me, you know. And so, anyway, any advice?
Yeah,
we hear you.
We hear
Rose.
you, and I'm so sorry, Rose. It is such an interesting time and hard because they've never been your age and they don't fully get it or understand. And I have a lot more thoughts that I can go to after the break.
Yes, we will hear those thoughts after the break here on New Life Live. Rose, thanks for calling in. We're going to put you on hold for just a couple of minutes, and then we'll be back to you and everyone else who calls into the program. We're going to be in the studio for 2 hours, and we can't wait to talk to you about whatever it is you're going through. Maybe you feel like an afterthought, like Rose said. Call us. Let's talk about it at 1-800-229-3000.
Hello, everybody. It's Becky Brown, and I'm coming to you with an urgent need. There are many people that are in difficult relationships, difficult places in their lives.
How do I navigate through that and not to hurt my son?
We had some generous friends of New Life that started a matching gift, and every gift will be doubled up to $475,000. The matching window closes December 31st, so don't wait. Every moment matters in recovery, healing, and restoration.
I do a lot of work in my local church, and so just being able to hear y'all work through some of these situations really helps me to have some insight on how to help others.
Make your gift today by going to newlife.com, click on Donate, or text the word MATCH to 28950. You can also call us, 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Together, we will bring hope and help to so many more people. And I want to say thank you in advance. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE, or you can text the word MATCH to 28950.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found Life Recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
And let's go back to Rose, who is in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. And Dr. Jill, what would you say to Rose?
So, Rose, just continuing, again, my heart goes out to you, and I see so many women that end up alone, and their kids don't seem to recognize that factor. And so part of it is, I think it's important to understand that throughout our kids' lives, you know, from us raising them, it's been said we work ourselves out of a job, but it's also the process of internalization. They are, when they're young, they are feeling your every move, but they are taking parts of you and they are internalizing it and making it their own throughout life. This helps them when you're gone, but what happens is they have you on the inside and they forget in a lot of ways or don't realize that you're still a person that needs relating to, not just the all-good giving mother that's always been there for them and always understands. And sometimes the better mother you are, sometimes the more you get neglected, and it just doesn't seem right. So I think one, your kids do love you. They hold you in their hearts, and if something happened to you, they would be probably devastated. But you do have to communicate something, and it's hard because it's hard to, not want to be in a position of imposing and this is, we mothers, we sacrifice, so we don't want to impose our need on them. But they need to be reminded that, I'm still here living and breathing, and I need some relating to. So to like holidays are like what you said is so true, that we're the creators of the holidays, and there are traditions, and traditions are nice and important. We need those, right? Mm-hmm. So it gives some structure to what we do, and there's so much good that comes from that. Kids also will push against structure and tradition, right? So then there needs to be this balance of traditions flexing. And certainly, as your kids have gotten older in their own families, it's like we need to have a conversation about, this is what we've always done for the holidays, but does this still work for you guys? How could we do it differently so that we all get to participate? And Rose, maybe it starts looking like you go and you spend, Christmas morning with one of your kids that lives close by, and you spend Christmas evening with the other one, or Christmas Eve. Maybe you switch it up and you're bringing some of the food, not necessarily doing all of the hosting, and that you're passing the mantle on to them. I mean, I mentioned my mom's birthday. Still at 87, she's doing Christmas dinner, and she's getting really overwhelmed. It's like, Mom, give us something to do. And she's like, well, you guys have so much. No, give us something.
Right.
You have to start passing the baton and letting us step into that, or we won't. Right?
Becky?
Yeah.
I love that. Rose, how does that sound to you, what Jill just said?
No, I think that all makes sense. It does. And it almost sounds like I'm going to have to say, invite myself rather than.
Yeah.
You are.
So,
but
and
assume,
the reason.
Sorry, Becky, but Rose, assume you're wanted.
Yes.
That's the thing. You start feeling insecure that, they don't want me. They're not thinking of me. But assume that, no, we're a family. We are going to spend some part of the holiday together. And so that's why when you're including them on an adult conversation, what works for you guys? When would be a good time for us to get together? How would you like it to look different than it's always looked?
Right.
Becky, what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say what Jill just said, but I that's okay. I want to hear from you though, Rose. Like when you hear that, what are the yeah buts that are going into your head right now?
It's not, my son with the 4 kids, I feel, things revolve around his wife's family, but I don't know what happened. I feel like the patriarch of the family died, and I just don't feel that I'm recognized as a whole set. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
yeah, it totally does. That's why, yeah. But what's happening though, Rose, is you're feeling that way, and you're not able to confront it in a way that works for you. That's part of that grieving process. I have my daughter is married, and my son-in-law's family. They're great people, but there's a lot of them, and they all like that. They take precedent. I had to work through that, and we do say it. What?
I said that's exactly how it is. I mean, I'm so far down on the totem pole, and I don't know.
So here's how I deal with it, Rose. Here's how I deal with it. First of all, my son-in-law's family are wonderful people through and through. They're great people, and I'm so grateful that my daughter married into that family. And I deal with that grief and the loss from time to time. But we decided we celebrate Christmas on a different day. And so that we have a day together, and it's, sometimes it's not even a whole day, but it's what we've done. And I've been able to work through that. I know it's not as simple as that for you, Rose, because I still have my husband, but I think about There are ways that you can grow into this new space of yours, being able to be seen and heard by your family and to show up as the wonderful person that you are, and to lean into what can happen. And so it may be that you find a different day that everybody comes together. It might not be on Christmas Day. And then do what Jill was talking about, where you drop in. I know, I hear the music.
Or you travel sometimes to your kids who live far away.
We'll be back on New Life Live.
We've been married 33 years. We attended the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop. Even though we've read books or attended a few other marriage weekends, this was certainly different and a lot more intensive than initially that we thought.
When you come to Intimacy and Marriage, you're going to be immersed into a 3-day process.
Was not really sure exactly what to expect, but the idea of learning to really understand intimacy was intriguing. We had been in the same patterns of struggle over and over again.
If you've thought, I don't think we can ever change, we're just in this rut and we can't get out, the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop can help you get out of the rut.
The Intimacy and Marriage Weekend is February 13th to the 15th in Orange County, California. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the code NLL for a discount. 1-800-639-5433.
I would highly recommend it.
Do you need help for life's hard situations?
My husband recently said he wanted a divorce.
I'm confused on what I should do.
I have an eating disorder.
New Life Live answers your questions on relationships, grief, addiction, trauma, anxiety, and much more, all from a biblical perspective with our panel of professional counselors and psychologists.
I learn a lot from your program.
You help so many people.
I appreciate your ministry.
Whether you listen or watch, there are so many ways to connect with us to ask our panel of counselors a question. Call us Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific at 1-800-229-3000 to ask your question on New Life Live. Or go to newlife.com/radio for other ways to get your question answered.
I'm trying to find help.
I just want to know how to set boundaries.
If it's a sin, what am I supposed to do?
Need a therapist or a coach, a resource, or an intensive? Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
And let's go back to Rose and Cape Cod. Becky, I believe you had a final thought for Rose?
Yes. Rose, we hear you, we feel you. We know that this is challenging, and we also know that this is going to take some time to unravel. My suggestion is this is not just for this Christmas, obviously it's next week. I would want you to get into some grief work with a therapist. I also, for next week, find a day where you can invite them either to come over, even if it's just for, a dinner. It doesn't have to be all day long. But the other thing is, if you want to make the stops at their house, just, bring cinnamon rolls, or I don't care if you have to pick them up at the store. It's not about that. It's about your presence being there. You are worth being seen, and your family will know that when you're there. It's going to be hard for you to just kind of insert yourself, but I want to challenge you for next week just to take a step in that direction, knowing Jill and I are championing you on.
Yes.
And I want you to get connected with a therapist afterwards so you can process some of this and begin to recognize your worth in your family.
We're going to send you a copy of Dr. Jim Burns' book, Finding Joy in the Empty Nest, just for calling in today here on New Life Live. And newlife.com is here when you need us. Articles, videos, and resources galore on our website. Plus, we bring you 5 new radio programs every week. And now we're asking you to come alongside us. So much of what we offer is free of charge, but it does take donations from our generous viewers and listeners to keep us going, doesn't it, Becky?
Yes. Oh, my goodness. Well, we could just replay Nikki's call at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
That New Life has made an impact in her life, and we're grateful to be standing in the gap. A lot of times people don't know where to get help, and we are out here on the radio every day, and people hear us online and the app in all different ways. We have people listening around the world. And the people who give to New Life are believing in the fact that there is some truth that needs to be out on the airwaves. And, we're having these conversations with people in really difficult places with the hope that God's got a plan for them. And we've been doing it for almost 40 years. We're going to continue doing that. I want to invite you to be part of what God is doing in New Life. You can give today, be part of the match. You can join the monthly giving program so that you can sustain what we're doing. In any way, if New Life has blessed you, help us continue to bless other people in the new year and beyond.
Yep, and we're in the middle of a matching gift challenge right now, up to $475,000. So many ways that you can give. My favorite is with my thumbs. You can text MATCH to 28950 or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or go to our website, newlife.com/match. That takes you right to the page where you can make your donation. Thank you so much for whatever you can do. Back to the phones now. Here is Lee, who is in San Francisco, listening online at newlife.com. And Lee is a Club New Life member. Thank you, Lee, for calling in today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
I started a friendship with a Christian man at church a year ago, and due to much flattery and compliments on his part, feeding my love hunger, it's been a year of highs and lows, approach avoidance, dysregulation on my part, expectations, confusion leading to much mental anguish, ruminating, and daily obsessive thoughts, resulting in me going on an antidepressant. I feel I'm suffering attachment disorder, have a strong attraction and desire for him, and a relationship with him in spite of some red flags. And I'm wondering, do I talk to him about my feelings, or how do I quit him? I'm accustomed to the man, doing the pursuing and it being more successful that way. And it's just very confusing and conflicting, I guess. And it's not just me, but it's kind of mixed messages definitely from him.
Okay.
But Lee, I love that you've really thought through a lot of this. So we're grateful that you're looking into that. But Jill, you can start.
Okay, Lee. So I'm a little confused in all of this confusion. Are you dating him or are you not? Or do you even know?
We've done I would say it's probably friendship. I want to be, but we've done things, a handful of things alone over the year, and it's been wonderful. We've had some wonderful outings, but I wouldn't probably label it as such.
Okay.
And I just don't know, because of his communication and flattering and compliments. It just, like I said, feeds my love hunger and has gone deep, and I've tried to just not say anything and let it be, but but all that mental anguish and ruminating on my part causing me to be depressed and go on antidepressant.
Okay, so Lee, are you in therapy? So you have someone to kind of walk through this with you, kind of at each twist and turn? Because I'm thinking that there's a lot of history here of hurt and disappointment and longing. And so a lot is getting, this guy kind of shows up and a lot is getting put on him. Probably more than where this relationship actually is at. And it's keeping you from really sensing what is going on here. Has this relationship gone physical?
No, just affection, just light affection.
Okay.
Mutual light affection.
Okay. So, and do you have any sense of what this man is wanting, like where he's at in life? And
I know where he's at in life, but I'm not. It's to me mixed messages and confusing because of his compliments and kindness and flattery, yet approach avoidance. And I told him, you probably can't say these nice things to me. It makes me like you too much. And he said, you should be told these things. But he's probably like that, with other people. It might be feeding his ego and a need. Because he does have attention.
Lee, is he a safe person for you?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, the reason why I'm asking, but listen, after a year of dating or a friendship, especially
Right.
when we're adults. If you have a lot of these red flags coming up and you're not really sure if you can talk to him about how you feel, or even the DTR, define the relationship. I think that's what the kids say anyway, but I think, Lee, that that is an important it's really an important sign. You're trying to work this out on your own. And he could be genuinely nice. He could be, one of those people who likes to compliment people, but because of your love hunger, it may feel like it's bigger than what it really is. So,
Yes.
I agree with Jill. I think it would be great to talk with a therapist, but, I don't know what the timeline is, but here's what I would suggest. I would probably have a conversation with them over dinner and go, hey, I love spending time with you. It's fun. I'm just really confused about where this is going. Do you see this going anywhere? Or, and not, that
Or
doesn't.
are you content with us just, casually dating?
Right.
Like, I think it's okay to ask that. I think we women want to have that DTR, like, in the first month, right? Yeah. And I always caution women and say, give it some time. Men are not there yet, right? You at least need to let it play out a while. But it's been playing out for a year. And so I think it is okay to say, I don't want to assume this is something that it isn't. So what are you thinking? And just kind of lay it out there, but in a way that doesn't have, you have to kind of hold back the emotion and without the intensity.
The pressure,
Lee.
right.
It's
because
like, we're just kind of exploring this. We're just being curious together.
But you know what, though, Lee, are you attracted to him? Like, there's a lot in your...
Yeah.
You are. Okay. Because in your description, it sounds like you are not really, like, you kind of like him, but you are real questionable about him. And I would think after a year, there would be a door that would be open where you would say, hey, I really like you. I like spending time with you. Like, do you like spending time with me? You guys are in your adult years. There's time to make decisions, because guess what? If this isn't the man and you want to have a man in your life, you're going to have to know where he stands so that you can move on and wish him well.
Right. Like, is he casually dating other people?
Right.
That might be important to know. Is he at a point in his life where he never wants to remarry? He just wants to have friends, affectionate friends.
And I love, Lee, that you are identifying the avoidant attachment. I think we're going to send you Mark's book, Understanding Secure Attachment, because I think the work
your attachment style.
Yeah, yours. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Jill. Because, Lee, it's really important to know who you are so that you know who you want in your life, and that this doesn't put you in a cycle where you're like, well, if he likes me, then I like him,
And it shouldn't be this confusing.
Right.
This is too much confusion.
Right.
So,
yeah, want clarity.
We need
and
clarity.
we want that for you.
Even if you don't like the answer.
That's right. That's right.
Lee, stay on the phone and we'll send you a copy of Mark Cameron's new book from the newlife.com store. It's called Understanding Your Attachment Style. We'll be right back.
My husband addicted to pornography for the majority of our marriage. I was very isolated and didn't really know which way to turn.
If you've been affected by betrayal, an emotional or physical affair, or pornography, the Restore Intensive will equip you with support and tools to help you through.
I went to the Restore conference, which seemed to be the missing puzzle piece where I was able to find my voice.
When two people want to do their part, we can be restored. But if they don't, we are not stuck because someone else made a decision. God lets us weigh in on how we want to walk out our lives.
The Restore Intensive is coming to Dallas, Texas, March 6th to the 8th. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Enter the code NLL for a discount.
I'm navigating my world now. It feels so wonderful.
I've had a great experience at Restore.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
We have a new webinar on the slate for January 15th. That's a Thursday evening. It's at 7 o'clock Central Time. I love these webinars. So much we can learn from them. This one is titled Break Free from Depression, hosted by Ms. Becky. And who's going to be presenting, Becky?
Dr. Jackie Mack Harris. I know that you've heard her here on the program, and Jackie's going to share her insights on how to recognize the signs and symptoms of depression. Sometimes people deal with depression. Well, they don't deal with it at all. They just experience it. And then when they're shown what signs and symptoms may be, they go, oh my goodness, I didn't know that this was what I was dealing with. You're also going to hear some insights on how to break free from that, but also where our faith integrates into this topic. Because a lot of times, if you're a believer, you'll be hearing those stories of, if you just pray, Jesus will take that depression away. And we know that there's, Jesus is able to do that. And we have this neurobiology that gets messed up sometimes. And, so we just need to really understand how to take care of ourselves. And man, depression that goes untreated just gets worse. It doesn't go away on its own. And so if you have experienced depression, or if you have a loved one who experiences depression, because we've heard that too, where people have been married to people who suffer with it, it is a real struggle, and there is help for you. Come and spend 90 minutes with us, and you will be glad that you did. Or share the information with somebody who may also need that insight as well.
Yep. Come to newlife.com to find out more about this webinar, January 15th. 1-800-229-3000 is our number. And now let's talk to Mary in Maryland, or Maryland, I should say. Annapolis, listening on WAVA. Hey, Mary, how can we help you today?
Hi, thank you so much for taking my call. I'm a single mom, and I have a 26-year-old son who moved out like 3 years ago. He moved out a couple hours away. Moved in with a girlfriend. He has oppositional defiance disorder and ADHD, which and impulse control. It's gotten him in trouble with the law. I guess the reason I'm calling is, well, he's also the type of person you give him an inch and he tries to take the whole yardstick. He's always busy, too busy to talk to me. He only reaches out and calls me when his car is broken down on the side of the road or when he needs money. Most recently, like a couple months back, I said I would help him buy a car, and I told him a certain amount of money I would give him for it. And then he tried to push that line and get even more money out of me. And I just had to put my foot down and say, because I just retired, I'm on a fixed income, and this is all I can give you. And I don't feel like he even appreciated it or said thank you. But, I basically said the well is dry. Don't come back to me for any more money. So my question is, even now the holidays are coming up, I've invited him, this is the third year in a row, over for dinner for the holidays, and he declines. So how do I establish boundaries with my avoidant son who only contacts me when he needs money?
All right. Becky, what would you say?
Well, Mary, you told us that he was diagnosed with oppositional defiant disorder and ADHD. So some of the things that you're talking about kind of fit with those diagnoses. I think I think a complication of this is, as a single mom, is he your only son? Like your only child?
No, I have a younger child who doesn't have, well, he has ADD, but the relationship with the younger child is completely different. Completely different. He calls me at least twice a week.
What's the age difference between the two of them?
They're 2 years apart.
Okay, so they grew up together.
Yes.
Okay.
And the younger one is off to college.
Okay. So a totally different experience. But here's, when you're talking about setting boundaries, Mary, I think you've got a natural boundary already with the 2-hour difference. I think the challenge that you have is, how do you want to be in his life? And it could be just recognizing it's not going to be what you might expect. Like when you invite him to go to dinner, he's probably not going to do that. And that doesn't mean anything against you, or that doesn't need to be a bone of contention. But it can be where you just invite him because you're like, I'm going to just keep the door open. And if you want to go out sometime, we'll do it. And just recognizing that he is off to his own life now, and it may not be coming back around. You're setting boundaries maybe around your monetary, and just deciding. I think you did a great job of holding that line with him. But I hear that you are trying to deal with what it feels like to be the mom on the receiving end after all you've done for him. I'm sure you had to do a lot for him with those kind of things growing up. That can be a challenge as a mom. But I think that you keep the door open, knowing that it's not going to be like your other son, but also that you could have some influence, even if it's just for a little bit at a time.
Dr. Jill?
Okay.
Yeah, Mary. It's interesting when you said you're wondering about setting boundaries. And I agree, you did a great job with the money, but you've got a son who's avoiding you. So sometimes it's the person who wants the least, it feels like they win. Because you're really wanting more, and he's not. Now, part of this is, when you're oppositional defiant, you're always in protest mode and pushing against everything. And so you stand, if you're a single mom, then you're kind of like the authority figure. I don't know where his dad is. But so you represent so much that he's pushing against. Okay, I'm getting a frog in my throat. Hold on.
Okay. That makes sense, though, Jill, that, she's the one that's having to
so
draw
you're bearing
him in.
it all. You're bearing it all. So I think, and we know that, at 26, his brain maybe is just coming online now, especially with the ADHD. It's prolonged. And that boys through their 20s are kind of a different breed. It seems like it takes them almost the entire decade to figure out really who they are. I would tell him when he does call, son, I don't mind helping you. I can help you with what I can do, but I have my limits here. But I have to tell you, it doesn't feel good that you're only reaching out to me when you need something from me, because you're an adult now and relationships are really two-way street. And so, it makes me not want to help you as much when I have no relationship with you. I mean, I will help you because this, with what I can, but it makes me not want to because there isn't the relationship. And so, I would be honest with him, because at this age, he needs to learn that relationships are two ways. It isn't just mom's here for the taking. And you can just matter-of-factly and nicely say it. It's good to hear from you. But it doesn't feel good to only be on on the receiving end of what you're needing, and not to have any dialogue in between.
Another way to kind of put a boundary in on that request too, Mary, is if on a phone call he calls and asks for something like that, and you haven't had an opportunity to have a conversation about how you connect, you can just go, well, I'll have to think about that.
Yes.
So how's work going, and what's, whatever her name is, how are you guys doing, and what's, and just shift the subject away.
Yes, yeah.
Because that way you're not in a vulnerable, because I can see a situation where you haven't established who you are and him hanging up, and then there be all kinds of drama. I want to encourage you, Mary, to continue to lean into who you are, knowing that you have value, and it's not determined by whether he comes to dinner or answers your call. You're a good mom, and you're able to do this. Doing Life with Your Adult Children is the book I would send to her.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Thank you so much, Mary, for calling in today, and we're going to be in the studio for another hour. Johnny, Kay, and Lisa, hang on. We'll talk to you and everyone else. 1-800-229-3000.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.